Did you know that to prevent tripping and improve walking, there are two muscle groups that are absolutely crucial to strengthen and train that are simply often overlooked or even ignored? Now, in today's video, what I'm going to take you through is what those muscle groups are, what they do, how you train them, why you train them, and how all of that package can help prevent tripping and improve your walking. Hi, my name's Sean Wilson. I'm the exercise physiologist and exercise scientist at FitGreyStrong, and my speciality is in over 55s. Okay, let's quickly go through what these two muscle groups are. So firstly is the hip flexor muscle group, and you can see on the diagram, which hopefully is coming through clearly, that I'm pointing at here. You can see the psoas major and the iliacus. They're the key muscle groups that enable us to do this movement. So you can see me bringing my knee up. Now, those particular muscles, they really do undergo quite a lot of atrophy as we age and a loss of strength. And this is one of those key contributors in terms of this tripping type thing that can occur. So that's the first muscle group. Now, this second muscle group, which is of critical importance to older adults to prevent tripping and improve walking, is what's referred to as the dorsiflexors, and it's the muscle groups that run along the front of this shin here. And you can see the illustration on the screen at the moment. You can see that where that muscle group originates and inserts, that has this action of pulling the toe up. So this action here, and then it eccentrically controls on the way down, unless there's pressure, of course, and force where the plantar flexors are going to come into play. So this muscle, as it weakens with age and the foot tends to sort of drop away a bit, that can drag on the floor and cause some of these tripping problems. So that's a second muscle group that we're going to look at today. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go through some of these exercises for the hip flexors. So, you know, those muscles, the iliacus, psoas major, rectus femoris, which are very, very critical in terms of improving walking and preventing tripping. But what I'll do, which may be a little different to what you may have seen in other demonstrations around this, is I'm going to give you a graded approach to where you're at. So we're going to look at beginners, intermediate, and then a more advanced exercise, so that wherever you are on the spectrum, whether you're starting or whether you're an experienced trainee, you have some progression in terms of where to go. So the hip flexor example is what we're going to look at first. Now, to do this exercise, I'll turn side on so you can see what it looks like. But this is, remember, this is the basic beginner's level exercise. So we're just going to be standing on one spot, and it's going to look very, very easy. I'll just demonstrate on the step so you can see it. So you're just standing on one spot. You can do this on the ground. I'm doing this on the step so visually you can see what I'm doing. And what I'm going to do is flex at the hip. So this action here where I bring the knee up and I can initially support myself. So I'm just bringing that leg up, trying to hold that posture, not leaning back. Now, if you're getting any pain, you can reduce the range of motion. So I can just bring it up a little bit. As you get better at it, you're going to try and bring it higher. Now, once you start to become a little bit stronger, you're going to hold that position. And that's the exercise. We're going to just do one side so that we can get some overload happening on that side. So that one there is your beginner's level. Now, this next level, the more intermediate level for this hip flexion exercise, I'm going to use what's known as a Y-bell. And I'll demonstrate with a 4 kilo Y-bell. So that's the Y-bell there. So just have a look at this intermediate version. I'm up on the step for this exercise. I'm going to put the Y-bell on the end of my toe. stabilize. And I'm going to flex up with the weight at the end of the toe there. So I'm going to bring it up. So because I've got load at the end of the lever on my toe here, it adds further resistance to the muscles that we're trying to activate. So that progressively makes the exercise a bit harder. Now for the advanced version, which I want those that are more experienced to do and know their training programs quite well, I want you to try this next exercise, which is from another video, but I'll insert it now so you can see what that looks like and give a description and explanation across that video. So take a look at this advanced hip flexor loaded, sort of more power oriented exercise now. The objective here is to rapidly throw the resistance upwards by forceful hip flexion. Okay, very good. Now, let's look at this second muscle group, which is critical for older adults, those over 55, in terms of the action of this muscle and its role when we do climb stairs or when we're walking. And again, I'm going to show you a progressive or increasingly more difficult exercise. So depending on where you are, you can select that exercise for your functional capacities at the moment. Now, the first one, again, this is the bare basic beginners exercise. I'll demonstrate that now. What you're going to do here is stand in one spot. I'll just get the right angle for you. We're going to do one leg at a time, and the action, the particular action, let me just go down a bit more so you can see what I'm doing. So, that's a better perspective. So, 1 foot at a time, and all I'm doing is I'm distributing my weight like in a normal stance. And with one leg, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my toe up off the ground as high as I can. Oh yeah, I'm getting a good activation there. And then I'm going to do it on the other side, same thing, but I'm not leaning back to do it. You don't want to lean back. You want to stay upright and you want to bring that toe up as high as you can. Hold and down. I want you to do these in a very controlled fashion. For this more intermediate exercise for the dorsiflexors, for those important crucial muscles that help prevent tripping and improve your walking, I'm going to show you an exercise with a resistance band, and you can vary the load depending on the band you use. You're going to fix it to something, an immovable object of some type. So I'm going to fix it to this weight here, which is about 25 odd kilos or 56 pounds in the old imperial measurement for those in the US. And I'm going to do the version sitting on the floor. Now, if getting on the floor is a problem as you get older, you can do this on a chair. So I'm going to set myself up. The band goes across the top of the toe, like so. I'm going to come back till there's some tension there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let my foot plantar flex where it's pointed, toes pointed, and then I'm going to bring that towards me. Now that hits right in those dorsiflexors where you want it. So I'll release it out. Just be careful, the band can sometimes slip off the toe. Good, and bring that right back. So really work this dorsiflexor muscle there. That's it, contract. So that's the intermediate dorsiflexion exercise that you can try. And lastly, the more advanced dorsiflexion exercise, I'm going to demonstrate this with a Y bell again. This particular exercise, you're going to be standing in a normal upright posture, and you're going to do the action. You probably need to be up on a step so you have some clearance to move the weight. So this is what it'll look like. So I'm going to put the weight or whatever I use on the end of the toe on the floor. I'm going to get up on my step. I'm going to hook, like I did for that hip flexor exercise, the Y bell on the end of the toe. But rather than lifting my knee up, what I'm going to do is bring the toe up and lower back down. It can slip off sometimes, so just be careful of that as well. Now you can do this balancing as well if you want to make it heaps complex where you're not being supported by anything. But that's a really good exercise for the tibialis anterior, those dorsiflexors, which we need to train and exercise as we get older.
Okay, well, let's wrap this up. So what we've gone through in this video is looked at those two absolutely crucial muscles in terms of how they can prevent and improve walking. So they were, again, the hip flexors and the dorsiflexors. And I demonstrated some good exercises from a beginner's, intermediate, and advanced level. So I would implore anyone that's over 55, particularly 60, 65, to be cognizant of those muscles, of the importance of those muscles, and the need to keep training them. Because what I will say is that things like, it's important to recognize things like squat, deadlift, what are some other good exercises people are doing? RDLs, whatever the exercise you are doing for lower body, the majority of them don't often proactively address hip flexor weakness or dysfunction and or dorsiflexion strength, etc., and dysfunction. So you have to specifically train them to get the benefits. So I'll leave it there. If you found this video helpful, please share it. Please share it amongst others, friends, family who are over 55. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot of really good videos that I have been working up that I'll be putting out there across the next year or so. So, all right, that's it. Stay fit, grey and strong. See you later.